We've got some more video out of Hawaii this morning. This is from Wednesday. People surfing on massive waves. Check out those waves right there. Great for surfers, but it is a hurricane that's bringing those waves close to shore. We showed you the lines for the grocery stores. Check out this gas station. We are getting reports that some gas stations are running out of fuel, which makes sense because they can't get supply ships into the ports with a hurricane barreling toward the islands. And check this out. This is the rain before the storm. A St. Pete man is with a group of contractors working in Hawaii right now on Maui. Ian Pyle tells 10 News he's concerned if things get really bad, he's got nowhere to escape.
We went to the grocery store, 2 different grocery stores yesterday, and they were already completely sold out of water, bread, and the gas stations are packed. It was crazy.
Yeah, Ian and that group will be back before Thanksgiving. Hopefully, that's what the hope is right now, but it's a very scary situation for anyone who is dealing with that on this island right now, Jenny.
Yeah, as you can imagine, Rob, Hurricane Lane is trending all over social media as people are posting what they're seeing right now in Hawaii, and what they're seeing: empty store shelves and no water to be found. We remember this, of course, from last year during the preparations before Hurricane Irma. Much of the grocery shelves were empty, and it was very difficult to find water. Okay, I love this tweet from Abba Gibbs. Look at this. The final and most important step to preparing for Hurricane Lane. If you're not looking at your screen, take a quick look right now, see what they've done there. They've had to tape all of their flip-flops to the deck there, just so that they can make sure they don't fly away. I hope that tape holds. And of course, we know this affects way more than just people who live on the islands. Lots of people vacation there. And I think Rain's tweet kind of sums up their thoughts. When vacation turns out to be a major disaster, bummer. And those are just a handful of posts that I'm seeing about Hurricane Lane. Now, there is another way to get some real-time information, and this is so cool. It's at snapmap.com. It's a website that is based on Snapchat videos where people tag Hurricane Lane, and then it tags it also by location. So if you log on and then you zoom into Hawaii, you can click on individual snaps, and they actually have a whole section about Hurricane Lane. This was from about 4 this morning, and there are people that are showing what the weather is starting to look like, the rain as it starts to come on. So it is something that we'll be checking throughout the day as people start to post more snaps. Of course, the calm before the storm, but it is going to get a lot rougher throughout the day. We'll be following it for you.
All right, Jenny, thank you for that. As the storm gets closer, island residents can at least feel comforted by the fact they will not be hit with a double whammy of natural phenomena here. The Kilauea volcano, remember that, by the way? We reported on that for about a month. That's on the Big Island. It has settled down in the last 2 weeks. That's why you haven't heard a lot about it. It doesn't figure to interact much with this approaching storm. Another big story, of course, making headlines this morning. Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer has been suspended for 3 games without pay. He's been accused of mishandling domestic abuse allegations involving his wide receivers coach Zach Smith. That's the update that we have this morning. Right now on our website, WTSP.com, the 23-page report on the investigation findings that show the coach had significant memory issues and took medicine for it. It also talks about how Coach Meyer reprimanded Smith for running up a bill at a Florida strip club while they were on a recruiting visit. It is a fascinating read, and a lot of you have been talking about his suspension on WTSP.com/YourSay Tampa Bay this morning. The question we're asking: do you think the suspension was too light or too harsh? And right now, the majority of people are saying 3 games is just too light. You can keep voting right now. Again, it's WTSP.com/YourSay Tampa Bay. We have been getting a lot of votes on that, as you can imagine, since we posted that story this morning. So keep those votes coming. Grant?
Another update that we've been following is the red tide now going on about a month. The worst conditions that we continue to see. A new update from FWC came down yesterday. And the main thing is it said was that conditions have basically stayed the same or gotten slightly worse. And that's what we've seen here in Pinellas County. A few more locations reporting low concentrations of red tide. A couple of samples there showing medium concentrations of red tide in the southwestern part of Pinellas County, but even down into the Fort DeSoto area and parts south, medium to then high concentrations of red tide from Manatee down into Sarasota County. In fact, an aerial observation found some blooms off the coast as well. So it looks like that red tide bloom is extended a little farther off the coast than what we were originally thinking, but still high concentrations of red tide continue all through southwest Florida and it looks like, if anything, the water and the currents would push the red tide more to the south over the next several days. It's something that we're keeping an eye on, but at least as of the latest update, Pinellas County seeing a little bit more in the way of red tide.
Well, I guess we can hope for that, Grant. Thank you. Making headlines this morning, another round of red tide cleanups is happening in Manatee County. This is a live picture from Bradenton this morning. You can see the fish on the beach there in the midst of the seaweed there. Volunteers will meet at Perico Preserve in Bradenton around 7:30 this morning. A lot of fish on those beaches. And we've been talking about it in the newsroom. We've had questions from you, people asking what happens to all those dead fish once they're cleared off the beach. Well, as of last Friday, the Fort Myers News Press is reporting that more than 3 million pounds of dead fish have been dropped off at the Lee County Solid Waste Facility, where they are then incinerated and burned. But get this, experts say that only a fraction of the dead fish are actually washing up on beaches. Most of the dead marine life is either still floating out there in the Gulf of Mexico or it's already sunk to the bottom of the Gulf.